I really appreciate you joining me, and we've got a roundup of 2 murders and 4 people shot inside a nightclub over the weekend. This is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. This video is sponsored by Maurice Andrews Solicitors Birmingham, the best legal firm to get your representation. The first story is the most recent, and it's about 4 people being shot on the dance floor inside Mango Nightclub at around 3 AM in the early hours of Saturday morning. This was an event that was attended after the big Vibes Cartel performance over the road at O2 Academy, and it is in no way connected to it. Some other pages have also accused some people have been arrested in relation to this, and this is definitely not what we're going to do on Scarcity, as we don't accuse people of any crime they haven't been convicted of or there isn't substantial evidence. These accusations can ruin lives and also make people lose their professional jobs. The latest update in relation to this story is that they arrested a man who was 32 years old on suspicion of attempted murder at 9:30 AM the day after. 3 women were arrested in a car from the M6, and they've been arrested on suspicion of violent disorder. In total, 4 people have been arrested following the shooting, and video footage has emerged from inside the club at the moment where a gunman opens fire and shoots 4 people. The women are aged in their 20s and 30s and were arrested from a car on the M6 in Warwickshire a short time later. They remain in custody on suspicion of violent disorder as the investigation continues. The 32-year-old man arrested on suspicion of attempted murder, and Chief Inspector Michael Clark says this happened inside a busy nightclub on one of the main roads out of Birmingham city centre. It is vital to hear from anybody who was there or has any idea what occurred. Our investigation is moving rapidly and we have made urgent inquiries, and this has led to the arrest of several people. And this is definitely not the first shooting that has occurred inside a nightclub in Birmingham, but it's getting rarer and rarer as the security and intelligence and CCTV has improved. Most people do get arrested very shortly after any disturbance in the city centre due to the amount of money that they've now put into security and also the cameras around the city centre. The latest update in relation to the shooting is that 1 man remains in a stable condition in hospital, while 2 other men are undergoing treatment for injuries that are not believed to be life-threatening. A 4th person was initially believed to have suffered a gunshot wound, but is now believed to have suffered an injury when she fell through the disturbance. So this means that there wasn't 4 people shot, there was actually 3 in the latest update. And the Major Crime Unit Detective Rachel Allen said, "We are building a clearer picture of what happened and are working flat out to find out who is involved." And if you've seen the videos that are on our Telegram, some of the aftermath of the situation, you can see there's a lot of blood everywhere and a lot of people were running away and things were getting smashed over, barriers, tables, glasses, and I'm sure other people were injured during this time. But thankfully, as it stands right now, nobody has lost their life. But at the same time, a man opening fire on a dance floor inside a nightclub is something the police will not stand for, and this investigation will have many resources. For this next story, I attended the scene in Wolverhampton where 2 men were shot and 1 sadly lost his life. This occurred on the 19th of September. Coincidentally the same time as the shooting in Birmingham, 3 AM, but we don't believe there's any connection to these cases at the moment. Police launched a murder investigation after they were called to Leicester Street to reports of gunshots fired. 2 men were found seriously injured in a vehicle, and 1 in his 20s was tragically pronounced dead at the scene. The second man in his 30s was taken to hospital, but they don't believe his injuries are life-threatening. This was the early stages of the investigation, and the police were asking for anybody who saw anything to come forward. When I arrived at the scene, there was a large tent erected over a vehicle, and this is where the situation took place on Leicester Street. There was 5 cordons in place. This estate in Whitmore Reens has a load of alleyways that surround it, and a load of dead-end roads that you're able to get across on foot or on bicycle. After speaking to some locals in the area, we were able to ascertain that there was actually a 3rd man in the vehicle, but he was taken away from the scene shortly afterwards. Today, the police are trying to speak to a man called Mohammed Mania Khan, 38 years old, who's also known as Manny, and he's believed to be the man that is wanted over the fatal shooting of Dwayne Mills, who's 28 years old. The investigating officer Jenny Birch said, "From the homicide team, we've been working around the clock since Friday to establish what happened and who is responsible. We have made a number of attempts to locate and arrest Khan, and now we are asking for the public's help." Following the murder, Section 60 powers have been put into effect across Whitmore Reens. The powers were in place from 7 PM on Friday till 8 AM on Saturday, and Section 60 powers allowed the police to stop and search anybody without any reasonable cause or suspicion. Following the recent developments in this story, we have now obtained CCTV of the moment that several gunshots, up to 7, were fired at this vehicle that killed Dwayne Mills. So this is a developing story, and I want to send my condolences to the family of Dwayne Mills, and we'll definitely keep you updated on any arrests and trial that follow from this story. In this third story and the second murder this week in Birmingham, police have now charged the man with the murder of Daniel Garner. Stephen Dale, 47 years old, would appear at the magistrates' court on Monday, charged with his murder following a house fire on the 21st of September, Friday. Police were called and fire and ambulance attended the scene to the property on Saxon's Way, Highters Heath, shortly before 1:10 on Friday. Daniel was 37 years old and he was found seriously injured outside the property, and there is video footage of them trying to resuscitate him, and we have seen this, but we won't be showing this out of respect for himself and the family. The scene of the murder shows a very burnt out flat. This is a property that is split into two, I believe. I was told by the locals that this was a upstairs and downstairs flat, and the upstairs was completely gutted, and charred charcoal window frames could be seen in the images that we took at the scene. The motive is unclear, but somebody has been arrested and charged very soon, so we'll no longer be able to discuss this situation, but we'll definitely follow the trial and keep you updated on the outcome. And I want to send my condolences to the family of Daniel at this terrible time. So I really appreciate you joining me for these latest updates. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and follow online as well at Scarcity Studios on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter and Telegram.